Hiya, and welcome back to Tennis Ace, the game that teaches us that, uh, fuck. Hang on. The game that teaches us that good FVN characters are few. FVN character parents are few and far between. That's all I can come up with. She is a good mom. Anyways, let's just hop right in. Oh god, what? What is this? I can't believe it. They pulled the most ridiculous cliffhanger. What the hell? What do you mean this is the season finale? How could they do this to me? Fuck! Now I'm gonna have to read the damn manga if I want to know what happens next. No way I can wait for the next season to come out. Also, damn! I only have one show left on my list. Catching up with the stuff I missed while I was in the hospital took way less time than I thought it would. On the upside, it was some pretty nice distraction when I most needed it. Alright, time for the new... Eh? Huh? That's an unusual time to have someone knocking on our door. Unless someone ordered something. I'm coming. Hi, June! I forgot. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I forgot. I unlocked the door, sliding it open to see June standing on the other side. What? June? Oh, I wasn't expecting for you to answer the door. What are you doing here? You didn't show up for class today and you didn't answer anyone's messages, so I got worried. Ah, right, I turned my phone off this morning because I was in a bad mood. I completely forgot to turn it back on. Yeah, Shoichi-san tried messaging Akiyoshi-kun to ask about you. He told us you were having a bad day and wanted to be left alone. We were discussing all coming over until then. Then how come you're here? I got worried. No, you're not. I just forgot to, I'm sorry. You thought I wanted to be left alone and you still came over anyway? I know it sounds kind of bad, I didn't want you to be alone. Hiya. Huh? Sorry, I can tell you're not all too happy about this. It's fine, I'm just surprised. You're not usually the type to do things if you think other people wouldn't like it. Yeah, well, there are times when you have to, and I was afraid that I was really worried about you being alone. Jeez, you don't have to look so worried about it. You're gonna break my heart like that. Fine, you can come in. Thanks. I'm sorry. Sheesh, what's with all the drama? It's not like I'm helpless, you know. Not gonna get in an accident again just because I was left alone. Then again, I really have to stop being unpleasant to my friends, so I'll bite my tongue on that. Make yourself at home. Thank you. June pulls his bag strap over his shoulder, lifting it and placing the bag neatly on the floor next to the sofa. Were you watching something over here? Yeah, I was catching up on the shows I fell behind on while I was in the hospital. That sounds nice. What about your mom? She's upstairs in her room. She had to get some work done after lunch. I see. You don't have to be all awkward about it, you know. Sheesh, what's with you? You weren't anything like this the last time you were over here. I got really worried. I got really worried when Akiyoshi-kun told us about what happened this morning. What did he tell you guys exactly? That you locked yourself in your room, refused to come out, and basically yelled at him until you... Okay, that's fair. That sounds pretty... Because you didn't want anyone around you? Okay, that's fair. That sounds pretty accurate. I still don't know why that would worry you so much. I was having a bad day. Big deal. I mean, it only takes one bad day. I have no idea what you're going on about, but I do have to admit I feel bad seeing you like this. I didn't mean to worry any of you guys. I needed some time to think on some stuff, that was all. I felt anxious about going back to school and having everyone see me like... Well, like this. I jut my chin down, gesturing at myself having to use crutches just to be able to stand. Yeah, that's totally fair. I kinda panicked. I'm sorry for that. It's okay. Don't really get why you would, but I appreciate that you were thinking of me at least. Right. Deciding to try and do something to defuse this awkward situation. This awkward atmosphere. Yeah, I still have the tweet on here. Hang on, I'm gonna bookmark it. I'm gonna bookmark the tweet. I'm going to bookmark the tweet. So that way, I remember. I just bookmarked them. I go around the sofa, picking a spot right next to the skittish tiger and sitting down. I felt a ton better after I got some time to think, just so you know. I had a lot of stuff going through my head that needed to be dealt with. Oh. That's good. I'm glad. So, are the others going to be coming over too, or were you the only one that ended up deciding to come? Sai-san and Keisuke-san wanted to come over right away after class ended, but Akiyoshi-kun was pretty emphatic that you wanted to be left alone, so they all decided to give you space. And was that before or after you decided to totally ignore what Aki said and show up here anyway? Don't worry about it, I'm just messing with you. Aki only knew how I was feeling this morning before he left for school. He didn't know I was feeling better by lunchtime. That's fair. I guess this means it's just going to be you and me today, huh? You don't have to worry about me. I can leave if you'd rather. Now you say that after insisting on coming over here because you didn't want me to be alone? Relax, I'm kidding. You don't have to be so stiff. This isn't a joke to me, you know. I'm not trying to make it one. I just don't want you to be so wound up that you drop from stress. This really isn't the time to be worrying about me. You're the one who's... Nope, denied. We're worrying about you right now. Uh-huh. Look, I was pretty awful to you the last time you were over. I was caught by surprise about the stuff you said, not to mention all the baggage I had and wasn't dealing with. But Aki's talked to me a bunch about just how worried you were for me when I was in the hospital. How you would arrive before everyone else, come over even on days when no one else could. And you've already told me before that you felt guilty about what happened. I just don't want you to end up neglecting yourself because of it. Yuichi-san? Oh, come on. I took a car for you. Least you can do is call me by my name, just like I call you by yours. That's... Oh no. Oh no! That was a joke! A joke! I totally didn't mean it like that. Holy crap, this backfired so hard. Calm down. I was trying to joke around. I didn't mean to rub your nose on it or anything. I'm really sorry, Jun. I'm... fine. No, you're not. You're very clearly not fine. You're the opposite of fine. I place a hand on top of the tiger's head. Jun initially recoils from my touch, but doesn't pull away. Slowly and gently, I run my fingers through his fur, trying my best to be soothing. I'm really sorry, Jun. That was a very bad thing to joke about. I swear I was only trying to lighten the mood. Okay. Really? Because you still don't sound too good. I'll be alright, you and I have very different responses to trauma. I guess that's a good way to put it. I'm sorry. You don't have to apologize. Is there anything I can get for you? Are you hungry or thirsty? I could get you some juice if you want. What the hell are you doing? You're the injured one here. You're supposed to be resting, you idiot. Ouch. Harsh. I did tell you I wasn't going to be holding back anymore just for the sake of having you find me cute. Yeah. Huh. I can still dream. You dream about wanting me to be cute? Of course. I love fawning over you when you're being all cute and stuff. Oh! I think I just said something really good by complete accident. Way to go, me! Come on, think, keep saying stuff like that. Man, I sure am going to miss the cute little Jun I had before. What are you doing? You never talked to me like this before. You said you weren't going to hold back around me anymore. It's only fair that I'm allowed to do the same. That's not fair! My heart's not ready! I have no idea if he's faking right now or not, but I don't even care. He's too adorable like this. Yep. This feels super nice. You said it yourself. I'm the one who's hurt here. I'm allowed handicaps. That's not how this works. Whatever you say, cat. Don't call me a cat. But you purr like one. That's not... Ah! Can I use your bathroom, please? Sure, feel free. Wow, he sure can run fast sometimes. Wait, why did he grab his bag too? I must have really done a number on him, huh? I could get used to this, though. That was really nice. Wait, holy crap, what was I even saying there? Damn it, I got completely carried away trying to embarrass him and said a ton of embarrassing stuff, didn't I? Fuck, my face is... I can never let him know that it affected me like this. He could have way too much power over me if he knew. There's no way I can let him flip the tables on me. Him doing the same kind of thing to me that I just did to him, the very idea is terrifying. Still, I didn't expect him to actually get running away. Maybe I overdid it a little. Having fun is all well and good, but this might have been too much too soon. It's not like I could help it, though. He was just too cute, I couldn't stop. No, don't start making excuses, Yuichi. Be better, man. I somehow get the feeling that I have full-fledged conversations with myself a lot more often than I should nowadays. Did I lose some of my sanity while I was in the hospital? I'm back! Oh, hey, wait, you got changed? Yeah, I'd rather not be in my uniform if I can help it. It's way too many layers. It gets too hot, especially in the summer. You say that, but you're still wearing a long-sleeved shirt. Yeah, I know. We can go up to my room if you want. At the very least, I have air conditioning there. Could we? I'd very much like that. Getting up from my seat, I take the lead, heading to the staircase with Jun following close behind. As I start climbing the stairs, I curiously look back for a second. You're not going to try and help me up the stairs? Nope. You did last time. And you didn't like that. I can learn, you know. Fair enough. I just half expected you to. People don't seem to be very good at taking no for an answer when they see someone they believe needs help. Funny hearing that from you. What's that supposed to mean? You know exactly what it means. You're not stupid. Mean? Why do you have to be so mean? Hang on, I'm grabbing a blanket. Even though it's actually hot right now, I'm grabbing a blanket. Having a blanket. What the fuck do I have? Do I have a cereal bar and Pop-Tarts on my bed? I literally have a cereal bar and 2 Pop-Tarts on my bed right now. Ah! 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 I knew I just said something hypocritical without realizing it, but there are better ways to call me out on it. From the look on your face, I can tell you weren't expecting for me to respond that way. You did that on purpose, didn't you? If you mess with me, you can't expect me to not fire back. I'm pretty good at picking my shots, too. Terrifying. This is exactly why I can't let him know the effect he has on me. If he did, he'd be so much worse. Yeah, they're not here right now. I don't even know what they're doing right now. I get that this is just payback for me teasing him a few minutes ago, but still. I've got to be the one coming out on top, damn it! Walking into my room, I quickly grab the AC controller and turn it on at full blast. If I don't get this room chilled as fast as possible, I might end up with a tiger puddle in my handles. The cleanup would probably be a nightmare, so I'd rather not. Ah, the cold air coming from it feels so good. Are you seriously standing right under it? Why not? It feels nice. You must really be roasting alive inside that shirt. Pretty much. You know, if you're uncomfortable showing off your body or something like that, I can promise you that no one would care. Don't have to keep wearing stuff that makes you uncomfortable. That's... what? Isn't that what this is about? Kind of? Yeah. I'm sure you'd feel way better if you wore something lighter. Why do you think I wear tank tops all the time? My fur is so friggin' dense even at the best of times. If I didn't, I'd be dying. You must hate your school uniform just as much as I do, huh? Yes and no. Unlike you, I don't plan on wearing my winter uniform during summer. Good point. Here, sit down for a bit. Stop standing in front of the AC like a doofus. I sit on the edge of my bed, patting the spot right next to me. Jun watches me in silence, looking from my gesturing hand to my face and then back up to my hand. Almost as if you were trying to confirm that I really am inviting him. Don't mind if I do! After a few more seconds of awkward silence, he finally walks up to me, closing the distance between the two of us and taking a seat right next to me. As soon as he sits down, the movement of the mattress causes me to slide a little bit closer to him. Totally not something I did on purpose. Our bodies are only a few centimeters apart in the bed, enough that I can feel the heat radiating from his body. By the way, I really appreciate you coming over again today. Really? I was afraid I was being a bother. Why would you be? I did come over after basically being told that you wanted to be left alone. I guess that's true. Well, I can't say I understand why you were so worried. But I still appreciate that you were. It's nice to know that you care, you know? Yeah, I have no idea how much I care. I think I do. I slide a little closer to the tiger, fully closing the gap between us and leaning against him with the side of my body. Jun's entire body tenses up on contact, his tail shooting up and swiping at me on reflex. To tell the truth, it's a bit funny just to see how quickly that got him. What are you doing? Me? Nothing much. That's not true! I'm just sitting here. Pretty close. Is there a problem? Not really. What? Jun fidgets around in his seat, looking down at his feet. His whiskers twitch every now and again while he tries unsuccessfully to talk, mumbling incoherently for the most part. I kinda had something important to talk about. This isn't helping. Oh, okay. Blah! Right when I finally summon the courage to make a move. Great timing here. Hey, yo. pulled away from the tiger, trying my best not to look too flustered at my failed attempt to start something. Sorry. It's okay. What did you want to talk about? Right! Jun clears his throat, bringing a hand to his chest and taking a few deep breaths. The whole scene is very familiar, reminding me of the time when I had to calm him down before something important. Like when he took part in that first competition a few months ago. For some reason, a feeling of nostalgia washes over me and I reflexively smile. Why are you laughing? I'm trying to be serious here. Sorry, I swear I'm not laughing. I just remembered something nice. I'm nervous, you know. This isn't an easy thing to talk about. Really? Is this going to be a bad conversation? That depends. Oh. We're going from attempted flirting to whatever the hell this is. I'm not prepared. Yuichi-san, I'm worried about you. This again? I already told you I'm fine. Please don't lie to me. I've done this kind of thing for years. I can see through it. What do you... Yuichi-san, please. At least respect me enough to not tell me an obvious lie. It's okay to be hurt, and it's okay to need help, but I can't do anything for you if I don't know what you need. Jun, just leave it alone, please. No! We can't leave it alone! Leaving it alone is bad! What's gotten into you? Settle down. I don't want to leave it alone. Bad things happen when you leave things like this alone. I have no idea what you're going on about. Please actually explain so I can feel like I'm also part of this conversation. Jun's tail lashes behind him. At the same time, he continues to avoid eye contact. The tiger places both hands on his lap, clasping them together and taking a deep breath. What happened to you? You can't play tennis anymore. That's huge! I know you're trying to pretend like it's not because you don't want people to worry about you. I get that. I really do. But it's not good. If you keep bottling it up without ever dealing with it, if you keep pretending and isolating yourself so no one else has to worry about you, I'm afraid you might do something bad. Something bad? Holy crap, dude. You're not implying what I... The look on his face tells me everything I need to know, promptly silencing me before I can even finish my sentence. Damn it, Jun. How could you ever think I'd... I know what it's like. No, wait, you're not saying... Jun takes another deep breath, leaning forward on his seat. He props his knees back up on the mattress, hugging them to his body and trying to hide himself between them. I was in a bad place. I felt like I was dead already. One day they even took the piano from me. The piano was all I had. So No, you can't mean... The tiger raises his head, looking up at me with a smile. A smile so fake that it does little to hide all the pain and sadness behind it. It's my greatest shame. I've come a long way since then, but still. All I'm saying is that I understand. More than anyone, I understand. I've been through this kind of thing before, Yuichi. I know how far down it can pull you if you're not careful. Hold on. Okay. This was honestly a very difficult thing to read. Because, like, I'm sure, as you all know, based on the tweets that I've posted last week, if you've read them, hang on, let me adjust my microphone a bit. I fully understand where he's coming from. It is not a fun place at all. Seriously, if you are considering that, talk to someone. That is just talk to someone. Looking back, it definitely would have helped if I had talked to someone. But seriously, do not bottle shit up. Yeah, seriously. Do not bottle shit up. if you're going through something, do not be afraid to talk about it. Because, seriously, it is... It is not fun at all. And I feel like I'm just repeating myself. Seriously. Feel free. Just talk about it. Find someone that you trust to talk about it. If there's no one that you actually do trust to talk about it with, then try writing it down and hiding it. Because, seriously, that is something very important. Yeah. Um, Also, speaking from personal experience, I have never called the suicide hotline solely out of anxiety and also pride, I guess. Um, just find something to get all that stress out because bottling it up is not fun. It is a horrible experience. It is genuinely horrible. I would not wish it upon my greatest enemy. Anyways, back to Tennis Ace. That's why I don't want to leave it alone. Why I can't leave it alone. What happened to you? Even if you say it isn't, I'll never stop feeling responsible for it. And since I know what it's like, since I've gone through something kind of like that, I want to be here. I want to be able to help you. That's all I can do for you. June, I don't even know what to say. I could never imagine you of all people going through... I can't say it. I can't bring myself to say it. If I do, if I actually say what I'm thinking, if I actually give it a name, June will have no choice but to confirm or deny it for me. I don't know if I want that, because if he does, then it'll be real. There will be no way for me to laugh it off or just say that I misunderstood. Jun gets up from the bed, standing in front of me. He lowers himself, almost kneeling on the floor, until the two of us are face to face. A smile on his face, like he already knows what I'm thinking. I know it's a lot to process. It's something I'm embarrassed of admitting to myself, but there's nothing I can do about it. It did happen, and I can never change that. Jun raises his arm, looking down at it with that same sad smile. As soon as I realize what he's doing, I instinctively hold my breath. I want more than anything to look away, to pretend like I don't see. But I can't. My eyes are glued to it. The tiger gingerly reaches for the cuff of his shirt, pulling it back to expose the underside of his wrist. At first, I see nothing. I try to see nothing. In fact, if I just caught sight of his arm at random, I'm sure I wouldn't have been able to make anything out. But because I know there's something there to be seen, I look just a little bit harder. It's not that noticeable anymore, thankfully. Still, I'm terrified of other people ever seeing, because I don't want to have the conversation where I need to explain where they come from. Even worse than that, I don't want to see those eyes ever again. Those eyes full of worry and pity, I don't want to be looked at like I'm some fragile little thing, like I might break if I'm not handled with care. I couldn't take that anymore. So I keep them covered. They're not all that noticeable anymore thanks to the fur growing over it, but I still keep them covered. Did you know that manga and media in general always show the wrong way to slit your wrists? So that if anyone ever tries to do it, they don't do it in the way that would actually let you commit suicide. I didn't know back then. It's the only reason why... Again, I'm going to get a bit personal. I'm going to get a bit more personal now. Once again, turning on the webcam. personally, I have not attempted suicide. I know people who have. That said, I do understand self-harm. I actually have self-harmed. It is not fun. It is not fun at all. At first I didn't feel anything, but all I remember of it was blood and trying to hide it. That's all I remember of it. Just blood and trying to hide it. Again, seriously. I literally cannot stress this enough. If you are having thoughts like that, reach out to someone. Get help. You know, fuck it. When I post the VOD of this tomorrow, I am going to try and remember to post a link to the National Suicide Hotline. I'm going to try and post a link to the National Suicide Hotline. Because, seriously, if you are thinking of suicide, or have attempted suicide, or are thinking of self-harm, or have even done self-harm, do not be afraid to get help. It is just awful. It's an awful feeling, and it may seem like there is no end in sight to your suffering, so you believe that, oh, yeah, I'm just going to not live anymore. That is awful. Yeah, there was, whenever I did self-harm, there was a lot of blood. There was a lot of blood. It was on my wrist. It was, right here, I believe. The scar is kind of faint, but it is there. Yeah. It is... Personally, it is one of the worst feelings in the world. This is coming from personal experience. It is one of the worst feelings in the world. You may think that a good solution to it is to go and end your own life. That is not a good solution. Yeah. Like the chat says right there. If you feel ashamed of what you feel, even if you think... Don't feel ashamed of what you feel. Seriously. Again, and I know I keep saying this, but I literally cannot stress this enough. And I know if you're watching this and you do feel that way, you've probably heard it a million billion times, that suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And it is. But do keep in mind, and this is from personal experience, I'm pretty sure not a whole lot of other people can relate to it. Anyways, depression's a bitch, basically. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Depression is a bitch. It is a bitch and a half. It is... I will say this, though, it is a solution. It's not a good solution at all. But it is a solution. Yeah. I feel like it needed to be said that you, you shouldn't commit suicide or attempt suicide, because you really shouldn't. You really shouldn't. But seriously, if you are considering it, or considering self-harm, or have already done any combination of the two, reach out to someone. Do not be afraid to reach out to anyone. That is enough of that. Back to Tennis Ace for real this time. The words catch in his throat. I know exactly what he was about to say, but even so, the sudden silence from him feels like it might drive me insane. Jun, he tried to... My eyes flip back to his wrist. The scar hidden under the fur there, barely visible, a single clean horizontal slice across his wrists. Just looking at it, I can already tell that it must have been a fairly deep cut to leave such a pronounced scar, protruding a little from the rest of the skin around it like a small bump. If it weren't for the fur growing over it... Jun, Yeah? I have a million questions going through my head, yet I don't want to ask any of them. More than anything, I feel sick. My head feels so fuzzy as the blood slowly drains from my face. Yeah. I must look so ridiculous right now, but I can't help it all. It's okay, you can say anything you want. I prepared myself for all of it when I decided to tell you. Why? Why? You mean, why I did it? No, I mean, why did you tell me? Why tell me? Why now? I guess that makes sense. Jun gets up from the floor, sitting next to me on the bed once more. Without wanting to, I flinch away as soon as I feel its arm grazing against mine. Jun chuckles, making my eyes go wide when I realize what I did. No, Jun, I didn't mean... It's alright, all things considered, this isn't nearly as bad as what I was prepared for. But to answer your question, I thought it was time. After what happened, I felt like I lost the right to keep hiding it from you. Out of everyone, you're the person that most deserved to really know about it. Plus, I've gone through something similar before. Having the chance to help someone I care about when they're in the same situation as me and not doing it? What would that say about me if I stayed quiet? Jun. So really, ask me anything. You've tried a bunch of times to ask about it, right? Now's your chance. But I never thought that... I know, you couldn't have known about it. Besides, I do a pretty good job at acting all ditzy and cheerful. Who would guess that the class dummy who's all smiles would have this kind of history? I just thought you were sick. I am. What do you have? I have a type of congenital heart disease. Basically, I was born with a malformation in my heart. It was minor enough that it wasn't caught at first. It wasn't until I had my first heart attack during a competition that they discovered it. That's why the situation is so tricky. I don't get what it is exactly. There's a lot of medical lingo involved and whatnot, but what I know is that there's apparently a bunch of scarring or whatever around my heart. I guess it formed over the years from it working extra hard to try and compensate. I take a bunch of medication to keep it under control, and I've had years to get used to it. I got pretty good at managing it, really. It's rare that it acts up out of nowhere. I can't believe this. I never imagined it could have been this bad. Don't feel bad. There was no reason for you to assume something like this. Isn't there anything else that can be done about it? Unless they fixed it surgically, not really. The surgery is very complicated, though. The risk is really high, and it also costs a lot. Since they didn't find out about my heart issue until I was already 11, went from a simple repair to something incredibly difficult. The doctors themselves recommended that I don't get the surgery. I don't even know what to say, Jun. Is this why you lived away all those years ago? Ding, ding, ding. I lived in a boarding school that was annexed to a hospital specializing in kids with chronic illnesses. Most of the other kids there had some kind of cardiac or pulmonary issue. A few others had stuff like really bad diabetes, bone disease, etc. Basically, only the ones in really bad shape were sent there. God, I can't even imagine. If there's one thing I can say with 100% honesty, it's that I'm happy you'll never have to be someplace like that. That's a bit morbid, don't you think? It's alright, I made my peace with it a long time ago. But why did you know... right, I forgot to tell that part. It's pretty sad, really. I never made any friends because I refused to accept my situation there. The closest thing I had to a friend was my roommate. We kind of watched over each other, even if we didn't hang out or anything of the sorts. A little over a year ago, I had another cardiac episode. It wasn't a full heart attack or anything, but the doctors checked my history and realized that most of my episodes happened when I was playing the piano. Which I can't really fault them for. I often tune out everything around me when I play. I know it's a bad habit and that I shouldn't do it. I tell myself I won't, but then when I start playing, everything else just disappears. So, they thought banning me from playing was the only solution. I was forbidden from going into the music room. I couldn't even be anywhere near the piano. For someone like me, music is my whole life. I've been playing since I can remember. I don't even know who I am without the piano. Put that together with me living away from friends and family for years and years, suffering from heart disease. I felt trapped. I started fantasizing about what it'd be like if everything would just end. My thoughts got more and more intense until I couldn't tune them out anymore. I chose a day when my roommate would be called out for a routine exam. I took a knife I'd stolen from the cafeteria, locked myself in the bathroom, and... Stop! God, please stop! Right, sorry. That's way too much detail. I'm really sorry. I played the whole thing in my head over and over again until I could become numb to it. It was the only way to get the nightmares to stop after. Either way, that happened. My roommate ended up coming back sooner than he should have because the doctor had to reschedule, so he found me and they rushed me to the ER. I was lucky enough that, even if the cuts were deep, they were done wrong enough that I survived. After that, my parents stopped agreeing with the doctors. They brought me back home, put me into therapy, got a referral for a local hospital to oversee my treatment, the whole thing. I spent a whole year just recovering mentally from the whole thing. That's why I got held back a year in the first case. Oh God, this all happened during your senior year too. Yep, honestly, I was pretty lucky to have come out of it as well as I did. I mean, I'm still pretty messed up in the head, but the cuts to my wrists healed nicely. They didn't cause any long-term issues to my health, nor did they hurt my ability to play the piano. Mom and Dad are trying to be really careful now. They try not to restrict me too much. I can tell that they don't trust me 100% anymore after what happened. Not that I can blame them. My God, what do I even say here? This is all too much. How does a single person go through all that and come out of it doing okay? I guess it's no wonder that Jun had as many issues settling back in as he did. It makes sense why he seemed to be so lacking in common sense. Yeah, Haya. It also makes sense why he was so anxious around us at first. God, I can even understand now why he spent so long pretending. I hated hearing about it. I hated the feeling of having been manipulated. I hated all of that, but if I were in his situation, if I faced so many years of being utterly alone and then had the thing I loved the most taken away from me too, I guess I can understand why he was so worried. The idea of doing something like that, it never even crossed my mind, but there's no way he could know that. I'm really sorry, Jun. Having to go through all of this with me, it must have been so traumatic for you. I'm sorry to have put you through that. Oh, don't be ridiculous. I'm not going to sit here and make your trauma about me. There's no way I'd even think of that. All I want is for you to understand where I'm coming from, for you to understand why I worry so much and why I might be so overbearing. I'm afraid, Yuichi-san. I told myself that if I ever got a second chance with you, that I'd be completely honest, that I'd tell you everything I've been hiding from you. I felt that, after what you went through because of me, you had a right to know. But even then, when it finally came time to tell you, I chickened out. I was supposed to tell you days ago, but I kept postponing. Yeah. I told myself that there was no point, that telling you wouldn't help with anything, that nothing good would come from it. And then, when you didn't show up for class today, and Akiyoshi-kun told us you'd locked yourself in your room and refused to talk, I got scared, Yuichi-san. Just as scared as I was the day of the accident. I thought that... It's okay. You shouldn't keep thinking about things that aren't going to happen. Don't torture yourself like this. Getting over my initial hesitation, I quickly scooched closer to Jun at the first sight of tears, placing a hand on his back and rubbing it gently. The tiger jumps at the opportunity, throwing himself at me and burying his face on my chest. Before long, the only sounds that break the constant humming of the AC are the tiger's quiet, muffled sobs. His shoulders quiver ever so often, with his entire body shaking under my hands. Seeing him like this, I can't help but feel sorry for him. That he kept all of this bottled up for so long. That it took this for him to finally open up. God, I was sitting here feeling like I was somehow the most miserable person in the world, not even coming close to understanding what kind of life Jun's led until now. And yeah, I know if I said that, he'd probably fire back saying it's not a competition. Or at least he would once he was done crying. And yet, despite all that, there's a little part of me that feels happy. Happy that he's finally opened up to me. Happy that I can feel useful. Being able to focus on consoling him makes me feel better about myself. How sick is that? I guess I must be pretty messed up in the head, too. Still, I can't say that to him. Not right now, at least. I'll just focus on trying to make him feel better. That much I can do. I can't even imagine what it must have been like for you all these years, Jun. I know it's not much for me. I know it's not worth much for me to say it, but I think you're seriously one of the strongest people I know. Am I? I don't feel strong. But you're still here. All this stuff happened to you, but you're still here. You might have struggled a lot, but that didn't keep you from getting this far. To be honest, I spent the longest time feeling so miserable, like my life was over just because I hurt my knee. Meanwhile, I still have all these people who love and support me. I can do literally anything I want. There's nothing else limiting me other than a bad knee. I know it's not a competition, but when I think about all that, I haven't gone through even a fraction of what you've been through, and I was about ready to fold. It's not like you're not allowed to feel bad just because someone else had it worse than you. That wouldn't be fair to anyone. It's not the exact words I thought he would say, but I guess I was close enough. And I do appreciate you telling me. I'm just sorry I didn't react the best way. It's alright. I was ready for way worse. You shouldn't have to be. That's not something you should ever have to worry about. You're sweet. Thank you for listening to me ramble. I'm sorry to have dumped all this on you. Not at all. I appreciate it. If anything, it just makes me want to take care of you more. Even though, I guess Jun has been looking out for me and worrying about me this whole time. Man, that's a really hard thing to wrap my head around. I really am going to need to get rid of this helpless image I have of him in my head ASAP. Please, don't push me away. I want to be here for you and help with whatever I can. Okay, as long as you don't keep anything else from me anymore. It was really frustrating to know there was something clearly wrong with your health, but constantly being met with a stone wall. Yeah. I got a taste of what it's like to be on the receiving end of it after you got discharged. Didn't take me long to realize how not fun it is. On the other hand, I feel like a real hypocrite for being so pushy with you and then getting mad when you tried to ask me a single time. I guess we both got to feel what it's like for the other, huh? That's one way to put it. Finally. A real honest smile from him. Just seeing it makes my chest tight. I kind of want to cry. So, you don't have to keep holding me anymore if you don't want to. Right! I didn't even notice that Jun's arms weren't squeezing around me anymore. I was holding on for way too long. Sorry. That's okay. I'm just trying to be considerate. Considerate? What do you mean? You know, with the way I feel for you and all, I don't want to take advantage when you were trying to cheer me up. Oh! Right. I've been thinking about it for a while, but I never did give him an answer after all. Knowing him, it doesn't surprise me that he'd be worrying about that. He doesn't know that I'm okay with it. I guess this is as good a moment as any to say it. Say it? I can't promise that it'll work out. Not too sure on how I feel yet, and I don't know if it can go somewhere, but I want to try. You want to try what? Ah! And there's recognition. You don't mean... I do. Wow. I'm surprising even myself with how easy it was to agree with him. Deciding to ride the wave of confidence, I lock eyes with the tiger. The sight of him looking so stunned and yet hopeful makes my heart flutter, bringing a smile to my face. Words come out before I even need to think them through. Easy, light, simple. It took me a while to come up with an answer. I got too wrapped up in wanting to be sure, because I didn't want to hurt you like I did the people I dated in the past, but I guess I have some more perspective now. I don't ever want to lose something important to me again, especially not due to me being a hesitant idiot. So, no, that's not right. I want to try dating. If you still want me, that is. A long, drawn-out silence hangs over us. Feelings of doubt and fear begin to gnaw at the edges of my confidence, but I steel myself and push them all away no matter what happens. Jun and I stare at each other in silence. His eyes examine every inch of my face over and over again, maybe looking for something that I wasn't aware of. Do you really mean that? I do, yeah. I don't know if things will work out between us, but I don't ever want to go through wondering to myself what could have happened if I'd had the courage to try. And you actually want this. You want me? You're not just saying that because you want to do it for me or something? Man, this kind of thing is really embarrassing to say when you actually mean it. Yuichi-san, I really want this, Jun. It's not often that I'm sure of something, and I'm still not sure of how things will work themselves out if we do it, but I do want to give it a try. I know it's a late answer, but I like you too, Jun. I want you. I want you too. So we're really doing this? If you really want to! Stop trying to give me an out, you dork. I've thought about this a lot. I know what I want. I just want to be sure I'm not pressuring you. I don't want you to date me because you feel bad for me or anything like that. Don't be ridiculous. I mean, I do feel bad for him after hearing about all that's happened to him, sure. That has nothing to do with how I feel. If anything, it just made me more glad to still have him here, that nothing really terrible happened that kept me from meeting him. I'm glad I got the chance to meet him and to have these feelings, and I don't want to waste it. Not when it could go away at any moment. You never know what can happen in the future after all. And it's also true that thinking of him and focusing on him does help take my mind off of the stuff that's happening to me right now. That might not be the greatest reason to date someone, but what the hell. It's only one out of a bunch of other reasons I have for wanting to do it. Not going to get too hung up on it. It's like Mom said, just because I'm not sure doesn't mean I shouldn't try it. So, does this mean we're boyfriends now? I think so. Huh. Do you also feel no different? Kinda, yeah. Huh. So, we're a thing now. That's... Damn. I don't feel any different. This is a bit anticlimactic. I don't know what exactly I was expecting, but I at least thought there'd be a more. I guess expecting to feel different out of the blue was a bit too much. I guess so. I don't know. I've never dated someone I liked before. Part of me was hoping that it would feel... I don't know. Like something that would make me know I made the right choice. Yeah, I feel you on that. Is there something I could do? Maybe there's something you're supposed to do when you start dating to make it feel like you're actually dating. Oh, I know. I scooched closer to the tiger, placing a hand on his thigh, looking deeply into his beautiful, sparkling hazelnut eyes. What? I lean forward, closing my eyes when I get close enough to feel the tiger's breath tickling my nose, a fresh scent of mint wafting from it. Tilting my head, I braced for a moment where Oh! Soon! Too soon! Suddenly, as if snapping out of a daze, Jun yelps and jumps away faster than I've ever seen him move. What's wrong? That's way too out of nowhere. We just started dating. I'm not ready to kiss yet. I thought you'd like that. I want my first kiss with you to be meaningful. I don't want it to be something we do on a whim. I don't get it. I thought he'd like that. And we might finally sink in that we're dating now. Though, I guess I really did decide to do it out of nowhere. I honestly don't know what to do then. Sorry, I guess I wasn't thinking. I get it, I was thinking it too. Not this in specific, but whether there was something we could do to make it more real. So I wasn't the only one. That's actually a huge relief. Can we take it a bit slower at first, at least for today? Sure, it's going to sink in later. We don't need to get ahead of ourselves. That's totally fair. I'm sorry. It's okay. I won't lie. The idea is nice. My heart isn't ready, though. Do you mean that literally, or... No, I don't mean that you kissing me would make my heart go off or anything like that. Don't even think about that. Right. That's also a relief. Oh, God, now I can't stop thinking about that. The idea is terrifying. No, we're supposed to be enjoying ourselves right now, not making it all awkward. This is the first time either of us get into an actual relationship. Makes sense that we would have no idea what to do. I guess. Didn't you have a bunch of girlfriends before, though? Sure, but I never felt anything for them. This is all new territory for me. Got it. Seriously, what's going on? We just agreed to start dating. Why does it feel so awkward all of a sudden? What's with this atmosphere? This feels... not ideal. Yeah... Sorry, I feel like I should have been more prepared since this was my idea. No, you don't have to apologize. I'm just as confused as you are. Still, I have no idea what you're even talking about. It's awkward as hell. Maybe we don't have to talk? And what, we just sit here in this awkward silence for God knows how long? Could you come over here? Huh? Jun makes a gesture beckoning me closer. I follow his hand with my gaze, watching him softly pat his lap, a smile forming on my face. Wait, you're suggesting you've been really stressed lately, right? I bet you haven't been getting much rest. Let me comfort you a little bit. No way. Is he seriously offering me a lap pillow? There's absolutely no way I'm gonna let that opportunity pass me by. Wow, you really jumped on that. Of course. Ah! So cute! Resting my head on Jun's lap, the one sensation that hits me immediately is the feeling of warmth. It's like snuggling up with this really soft, snuggly pillow. Except that the pillow is my boyfriend. Ooh, man, that's definitely a weird thought now that I think about it. I have a boyfriend now. This is even more comfortable than I thought it would be. I'm glad you liked it. Are you sure you're okay with this? I don't want to make you uncomfortable or anything. Don't worry, this is actually really fun. Fun? Jun gently places a hand on my forehead. Slowly, he begins to stroke and pet me. At first, he only uses the tips of his fingers, running them through my fur. Then, little by little, he begins to add more pressure, rubbing behind my ears, above my brows, and everywhere else around my head. It's so nice. I could fall asleep like this. That's good. At least it means you're managing to relax. Oh, for sure. This is the most relaxed I've been in recent memory. Not to mention that, being this close to him, I can even realize just how nice Jun smells in general. It's some kind of flower, I think. Whatever it is, the smell is ever so slightly sweet. It's like a pleasant tickle to the nose every now and again. You make for such a good mattress. You're welcome. Your fur is so soft, it's really fun to touch it. Then touch away. Really? You don't mind? I basically threw myself on your lap, didn't I? Yeah, that's true. For what it's worth, I definitely don't regret it. Though I might actually fall asleep like this. I want to say that would be okay, but I'd be a bit worried about my legs getting numb. Oh shit, do you need me to get up? Shh. Jun gently pushes me back down when I try to prop myself up. Then I feel something soft brushing up against me. Looking down, I gasp when I realize what it is. Jun's tail nestling and curling itself up on my chest. Better like this? Oh man. What's that supposed to mean? Means I have a really soft tail on top of me. I must have done something really good in a past life, because I'm getting some serious rewards right now. Either that or the universe is trying to apologize to me for the otherwise crappy month I've had so far. I don't think my tail curled up on you is good enough to balance out it. Shh! This time it's my turn to silence him, looking up with a teasing grin. Jun looks down at me with the softest, gentlest smile, a hint of a rosy red colors on his face, just barely shining through his fur. The light coming through the window paints his orange fur an even more vivid, fiery color, almost as if he were wearing a coat of flames. He's seriously beautiful when he's like this. I wish he'd have more confidence in himself. Wanting to find some way to return his tender touches, I reach for the tail that rests atop me. The moment my fingers touch it, Jun gasps, his tail twitching and tickling me through my shirt. Sorry, I wasn't expecting that. Don't be sorry. It was really cute. Shut up! Teasing him is too easy. I love it. I slowly and carefully reach for his tail again. Once more, as soon as I touch it, Jun lets out another gasp. However, he doesn't pull away this time. Instead, he continues to look down at me with that same smile, except his face seems to be growing even redder. Since I know how sensitive his tail is, I make sure to be as gentle as I can be, only lightly stroking its length with the tip of my fingers. Jun squirms on his seat despite trying his best to stay still. The sight of his lips trembling is so funny I can barely hold back the laughter. Still, I don't ease up on my assault. I continue to pet his tail, enjoying the sight of the tiger growing more and more distressed above me. Before long, Jun stops petting me, probably fighting too hard to control his trembling body to realize it. His breathing grows irregular. His breaths get longer and louder, with frequent gasping and panting. Wow, I never imagined that tiger tails could be this sensitive. Mine is really sensitive too, but I don't think I could ever get like this just from having it played with. Ah, stop! What? Having trouble focusing? Please, Yuichi-san! Jun tries to push me away, but can't manage to put any measurable amount of strength behind it. Still, seeing him suddenly so bothered isn't something I want. I sit back up on the bed, looking back to see Jun curled forward, having propped both of his knees up and trying to hug them close to his body. Is everything okay? I didn't hurt you or anything, did I? No, it's not that. Then what's wrong? You got weird. Something's got to be going on. I just needed a break. My tail is really sensitive. I mean, I kind of noticed. You were breathing heavy and ever... Oh! Wait, you don't mean that you... Please don't say it. Oh. Oh, wow. Totally didn't see that coming. Just from stroking your tail? How can it be that sensitive? It just is, okay? I didn't know about it until now either. It's okay, Jun. You don't have to be so embarrassed. We're both guys. We know this kind of thing just happens sometimes. Of course I know that. Just why now? Now the mood is ruined. It's fine. You seriously worry too much. We can get back to it once you settle down. If you want, I mean. No, I'm good. Aw, am I really going to miss out on a lap pillow because of that? Ugh, stupid Yuichi. Why did you have to go for the tail? Stupid. Sorry, I didn't mean to get you like that. It's not your fault. Don't be stupid. I just need a minute. Besides, I should probably head home anyway. I've been here for a while already, and my parents have been getting on my case to start getting home earlier since I've been staying out late almost every day lately. I'm guessing that part's my fault. I wouldn't call it fault, but yeah, it's because I've been leaving the house almost every day to see you when you were in the hospital. Do you think I'll collapse if I keep it up and, well, you know my history now. You know they're not exactly being unreasonable. Yeah, all things considered, they've been pretty patient, actually. I should probably swing by your place later to apologize. No, you don't have to do that. If they ever even tried to hint that they think you should apologize for something, I'd chew them out for it. You'd chew them out? Of course. How unreasonable does someone have to be to demand an apology from the person who got into an accident to save their son? That's a point. They were just worried about you, Jun. Cut them some slack. Sure, but either way, they've never even hinted at wanting an apology from you, and I won't let them if they did. If anything, they're the ones who want to thank you for what you did. That's not necessary. It'd be pretty uncomfortable if I'm being honest. Yeah, I can imagine. Jun gets up, walking to my desk to fetch his bag and placing it over his shoulder. My problem is gone now, so I really should leave. Alright, I'll see you off. Thanks. Jun and I walk together to the front door, our pace even slower than normal. We keep sneaking glances at each other all the time, and Jun's tail brushes up against mine more than once. When I open the door, Jun stares at the outside in silence for a few seconds. Crap! I really don't want to leave. Yeah, I get that. I feel the same way. It's a shame I have to, but I don't want to stress my parents out any more than they already are. It's okay, I get it. Besides, it might not be such a bad idea to give you some time to calm that fire of yours. For frick's sake, it was only because you were touching me. I don't go around popping those at random. Whatever you say. At least now we know you're healthy. Or at least that part of yours is. I'm leaving now. You just want to see you tomorrow. Bye! Jun basically jogs through my door, his beet red face. He says he runs away, finally breaks me, making me laugh loudly. Through my laughter, I still wave him off, watching him disappear from my sight before I finally close the door again. I feel a lot lighter now than I did earlier today, though I have no idea how I'll feel once it finally sinks in. For now, though, I think I can get some proper sleep to compensate for this morning. We're going to leave off here tonight. Bombastic side-eye. Wait, I forgot what I was doing for a second. Ah! 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 Anyways, stay safe, have a good night, and I will see you all tomorrow.